long-term process, which a lot of, I would say, struggles. We have to convince different culture ministers, because there was changing election, there was changing in the city council, and people were like, yeah, but why should we invest in that? Why should we have that? What will the city contribute of this? And I got so many, I would say, you would say, yeah, challenges, but also a way to challenge yourself all the time to make, okay, am I on the right track? Do I really tell the pitch, the story that people can commit to? Do I do anything to help the story along? And here comes the other part of this process, which is kind of starting to do it, make a relationship with the local schools and the high schools with the music and history, and make events at the compound that we were going to build the museum, make any kind of communication activities. So I actually made other plans supporting the long-term strategy. And that was, you could say, the use of creativity, but also the way to test relationships. So this relationship and networking was very important. And for, I would say that was actually, if in reflection, I would say that was the way that it might become a success, that we, not only me, but we actually managed to get people excited to tell this story about why was this important, because that is what you are challenged with all the time when you get an idea. Why should we have this? So I also had to, kind of bend the rules, and I also had to, and that is the trial error thing, to test something, be open for any punch you get, and just to say, okay, I will stay on the track, and of course things will get you out of balance, but we managed to get the museum done, and we managed to make this a very, very nice museum. What I would talk about is the angle is, do I had to broke any glass ceiling? Was there any, I would say, women competences or advantages for me in this process? Because I was challenged. It was a male dominant setting, but I actually don't think that, if I should be honest, and I have to be honest, I don't think it was the competence being a woman. I think it has more to do with the way that my approach to that being professional, but also reaching out and being open, and also, of course, vulnerable for any challenge I got. So you could say this Scandinavian advantage, because there is a Scandinavian advantage, I think, and that is more into leadership and management, and that helps also startup and creativity, innovation, etc. And it helps to be more riskful, that we have this trust. We trust our leaders and we trust our employees. I mean, that is really said very simple, but that facilitates a lot of this, and also gave me room, because if I, in retrospect, should say what leaders I have had in my entire life would be, is that women or men? And that is totally, I can't say I have good male leaders and female leaders, and the opposite. So it's more about that we have a lot of trust, and that helps this along. That's one thing. It's easy to start a business in Denmark, but it's not easy to run a business, because we have this tax incredible tax system, which of course benefits the people, but being an entrepreneur and having your own business, this is a challenge. So that comes with it. Another thing that helped me along was that was my family situation. Of course, again, in Denmark or in Scandinavia, we have daycare. I could get my children put in what we call an institution. This is not a very nice thing to say. However, it is possible. And it's, and of course, that's a good thing. But what was also a good thing is that I had a supportive husband. And I think that also made these vulnerable years when the kids were small and all this museum thing has to go on, that of course that was kind of a relief that he could take care of the domestic stuff. I know that's not the same situation for everyone, but at least that was important for me. I think a very important takeaway or advice would be kind of, if I take the book and the principles, and I know Anne-Marie will address them later, but the one is kind of believing in the idea. Someone came to me at some city hall meeting, and there was touching my shoulder and said, you know, Lena, no one believes in that museum anymore. The grants from the municipality and $10 million will just vanish. And okay, do you believe in it? And that was actually what was being said. And I could run away at that time and say, no, if I'm the only one, why should I keep doing it? But actually that made me, but we have made this so far. There are so many things, good things happening, so we should keep on going. So of course, when you have a success, everyone wants to be a part of it. But someone admitted when the opening was there that it actually was due to the fact that I kept going on being innovative in any way to get this going. So that is one takeaway, just to, of course, be aware, do you believe it in yourself? And are there anything that support it? Are there any trends, or we call it in true storytelling waves, that you can surf on? So you can actually see, okay, this will support my story or my strategy. Something else happening around, not anything similar, but something that could be a discourse or another company, another idea, another event, another discussion, something you saw that could support your story. I think that is actually also an essential thing, to be also very, okay, something is happening, we have maybe momentum, or there is a trend that can support what I'm doing. So that is actually two very, very important things. Another thing is that keep the professional attitude, you could say, or approach. I've met women in boards that started crying or bitching, and I'm really not feeling good about that. I don't think we as women should I mean, and I'm not saying that it's that people are offended or something, or I'm not talking about Me Too or anything like that. I'm talking about that this is not an appropriate thing to do, and you could easily have said your arguments in another way, and that's I think something I learned, that I had to keep the proper tone, and to say, okay, I took a risk that may not go very well, but then I will try something else, and that is the trial error thing. Another thing is to establish a network, reach out, don't be shy or dare to take also the risk that people are rejecting you, because that is the first thing that you are, of course, I'm super proud and well, if people, but to reach out, and that can also test your idea if you want to, I don't do a startup or something. So would I do this all over again? And what would I do? One thing, I will take a much higher retainer fee. I'll tell you that. That is my learning. Take the money that you are worth. And when you are fundraising many million dollars, be sure that something is going back to you, or at least that you will get the right assignment, because sometimes, and that's, I can be, or it's another a woman thing, but to be too kind or too obsessed with your project that, oh, I don't need to be paid that much. But yes, all over again, higher retainer fee. So with these words, I thank you. I thank you all, and I hope that you can use anything for inspiration. And I'm looking forward to any questions coming. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, everybody.